I'm Tamsin Fidel, and this is The Broadway Show. Boy band icon Joey Fatone comes back to Broadway in the hilarious pop concert musical & Juliet. And he's actually going to be singing the songs of NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys. I caught up with Joey at the Skylark. You're back on Broadway.
Yeah, excited, you know.
You keep coming back.
It's been a minute. We were, thinking about how far away. I think it was 2004 was my last. So over 20 years. We're a little crazy to think about, but I'm excited. It's a different thing. Usually I'm playing, the younger roles. Now I'm playing the dad roles. And, I'm not mad at it.
That's a great thing to be able to do, though. I love it.
Oh, it's great. And again, especially for a show like this, & Juliet. I mean, come on. As far as the music, it's pop music. You got the Max Martin catalog. You got songs from Backstreet. You got songs from NSYNC. You got Katy Perry, Kelly Clarkson, Britney. But it's just fun, and it's obviously has a story with William Shakespeare and of course Romeo and Juliet. And always interesting to think that would those two merge together? You have pop and you have this, does it work? And it does, and it's amazing.
I think it's great. Well, I think you have the audience instantly with a show like that. You walk out there and instantly you've got the audience. They love the music. They know the music.
They sing along.
They sing along with you. What made you say yes this time? Was it the show? Was it I got to get back there and do live?
I think a combination of everything.
Yeah.
I think really it was. I mean, I did see, I've actually, believe it or not, this obviously goes, of course, with Max Martin, writing the songs and producing a lot of stuff for NSYNC. And of course, having that near and dear to my heart. And then also, saw the show, heard about it, and then finally saw it. And I was like, this would be kind of fun to do.
That's awesome.
And we started really just having this conversation and tried to figure out what's the best timing, obviously, with my schedule and figuring out times. And a lot of times you do take a big chunk.
Yeah.
I've done 6 months or 3 months. And it's difficult in my time right now with kids and everything else, and I want to try to spend as much time as I can with them. And it's just, I want to try to get that balance. So for me to get back into theater was a lot of fun. Get back on Broadway, since again I haven't done it in a while. I think it just wanted to get back into it. So this is kind of the perfect way to ease into it. The part is not a huge part, thank the Lord, because I don't know if I can remember everything in that quick of a turnaround. But everything has been going great now, and I'm just excited to really dig into after the first week.
Well, we know you got the singing part down. So what's the hard part?
Accent, kind of getting the lines. When I first started rehearsals, and stuff like that, my brain was kind of going, okay, I need to learn these lines. But then all of a sudden, when you throw in an accent, you're changing certain vowels and certain things.
So what's your accent?
Oh, it's horrible. It's like,
should I have done the interview with that accent?
Francois, what did you come to us? Yeah, it's horrible. It is. I think as we go, by the end of my run, I'll be fine.
At the end of your run, you're going to want to be in Paris.
Exactly.
That's what you should have done. You should have insisted. You
Right?
have to go
I
embed in Paris for a little while for some research.
I need to travel. I think, what? I think for me, I think the funny part about the character too is I think it's okay that he may go in and out of the character. I mean, that's his character. I think as far as how I'm going to portray it, and have I been portraying it. It's a little bit different than Paulo, who's been doing it for many years, and he's the man that pretty much originated it. So for me, it's like, I want to definitely give that justice, but also put a little bit of spin on it for me, what I'm doing. But just in general, of telling a story and performing and seeing the instant reaction off of people's faces, I think that's what really is amazing to me, that I love about it. You want to just have them in the palm of your hand, whether it be a story that you're telling, or a monologue, or a soliloquy, whatever you're doing. I don't know. It's just fun to be able to be that creative or become a character and be able to do that in front of people.
But live audience is what literally grew up with.
Yeah, I thrive off it.
Literally grew up with. Well, I think it's exciting to see this come full circle with with your career and be right back here doing a live theater, which you love.
Yeah.
The songs that you're pretty familiar with. I think that's really incredible, and I have to imagine the audience goes crazy with that.
Oh yeah. Oddly enough, it's always interesting when you start to see an NSYNC guy singing a Backstreet Boys song. So it's always a very odd feeling. But you know what?
How does that feel for you?
You know what? For me, it's fine, because actually I do a show with AJ. I've just wrapped it up this past New Year's, where me and him did a concert called A Legendary Night. And what we do is we sing each other's songs. And we sing, we did like 80s and 90s songs. We have like a dice that we throw out in the audience, and we have a list of just random songs. So it was just these random things.
That's
So
great.
we kind of like made this fun show where, hey, we love this. We want to thank our fans for being fans.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see that it was NSYNC and Backstreet in the same theater and not killing each other, which was great. They're all happy. Usually they're always, this one group is better, and the other one. It's like, hey, you can love both. It's okay.
It's so good to see you. So what is next for you?
You know what? After this, hopefully do more touring, as far as maybe with AJ again, but also, we're really, as far as the group NSYNC, I know people always ask that.
Yeah.
I think that right after this, I'm going to be, hopefully, cross the fingers, having a meeting with them and seeing what's going on. We might be going on tour if that's a thing. I hope so, cross the fingers. But we don't know what we're doing right now. We haven't said yes or no. So that always that question is NSYNC getting back together? together? And of course, the answer is, I have no idea.
Tony-winning playwright Brandon Jenkins is back with Purpose. The new play, Purpose, is directed by Phylicia Rashad. It's about a prominent Black Midwestern family grappling with its own complicated legacy. We got to know the stars.
This writer, Brandon Jenkins, there's something that is here that is sort of inexplicable to try to explain. There is a lot of spirit on the page, and then there's like all of the things that we know. And then there's like the inexplicable as well.
He's touching so many aspects of Black life, and these people just happen to be Black. And I found my way in very quickly, and the character that I was playing, and I thought that this was a facsimile of something that I knew.
The density of the characters, that they can, even though they have beautiful language to use, what they're saying is representative of entire centuries of an experience of Black Americans who represent the religious aspect of it, the political aspect of it, the fusion of church and state that Black America has always balanced quite well, and that it only now is really starting to separate itself. That has become a kind of two-pronged thing, almost presenting a dilemma. But the Black experience in America is a fusion of church and state. And so I think that for me, that was, without saying that's what spoke to me.
It pulls you in and wants to, you just want to let it out. And then to get to work on it with Phylicia Rashad and these actors who are sitting here is, and especially for me at this age, is I could be okay with this being my last dream.
English is the new Broadway production of the Pulitzer Prize-winning play. It's a comedy that takes place in an English language classroom in Iran. Here's Paul Wontorek with a look.
I'm in love with your creation, English. Big hit on Broadway. These are both your Broadway debuts, your entire company of Broadway debuts. These are not actors we've had on Broadway before. These are not characters I've seen on Broadway before. Even some of your actors talk about there are certain moments when just things hit them with like extra emotional resonance. Do you feel that as well?
Opening night was like one of the best nights of my life. And that was before reviews or anything came out. We just have been at this play for a long, long time. I find it astounding that playwright, director, cast, all of us have made our Broadway debuts with a play that was delayed for 2 years, that started rehearsal at the height of another COVID surge, went on with no understudies, had a full run. Like, doing this play the first time was for all of us like just a leap of faith, because we didn't know what we had.
It's euphoric when the world sees things the way you see them, because so often it feels like you're out of access. But there's so much love like inside of this company already. I felt fortified against public response either way, because the cast is just, and the designers, there's so much affection for what we're doing that means more to me than like the clippings.
What's it like hearing the audiences responding to it, and are you feeling sort of the back and forth with Broadway audiences?
I think for me, the first night, the first preview, when we did our first scene and I turned and we said something and people laughed, it was like suddenly 700 people are laughing at your joke. It felt overwhelming, but as you get into it, it's like you've gone from a small ship to a cruise line. It's
set in Iran, but it's maybe not the story audiences at the Roundabout walk in thinking they will see. But I know the play came out of a lot of frustration. Talk about where the play came from and what drove the writing for you.
I wrote this play in response to the travel ban, the Muslim ban in 2017, 2018. I wrote the play in response to the way I've always known that many Americans would perceive my parents who speak with an accent as less intelligent, less human. I wrote it out of rage, I wrote it as a scream. I wrote it when I was nobody, and I just wrote it for myself. I go back and forth, I really contradict myself in like whether I would call this play a political play. I often say I'm not a political writer, but yes, of course, like the decisions these characters grapple with are, do I leave or do I stay? And that is an inherently political thing to be grappling with, a choice that is shaped by the politics around us.
Yeah, I think it's a very political play in the sense that it says a lot about a lot of things in the world, but maybe it can be perceived as non-political because it stays away from how we tend to want to receive stories about the Middle East in America, particularly. But this is a play about language, about power, about access. It's a play that's also about home and about borders and about who you are when you speak what you speak and what it means to take the language of the world for granted, what you lose, what you gain when you are learning the language that, you know, we take for granted in the States. And I think those are very political subjects. The play is not about, you know, the Iranian-American wars, right, you know, or the Iraq-Iran war, or about any of the cliches that you tend, you know, you always want to see Iranians. People tend to assume to see Iranians or Middle Easterns, you know, in that framework. It's so far from that and so much more elevated than that, which is why we're so proud to be in it.
I think the thing that's most sort of profound for me and with this play is that, yes, we're Iranian and yes, we're, you know, you don't get to normally see these people, but each individual character is representing themselves and they're not the same. And I feel like oftentimes, or a lot of times, we were otherized or put in a box, and it was like, well, you can represent the Middle East like this, and you can represent it like that. And I play a character who is mysterious and romantic, and she doesn't know why she's more alive in this versus that. And I feel like that representation, actually, I've never seen.
Yeah, it feels like we've been relegated a lot of times to playing sort of either the sad Middle Eastern, tragic Middle Eastern trope. Like we've done plenty of that, or the sort of like angelic. You know what I mean?
Or we're there to give you a history lesson.
Yes.
There's a beautiful device where when the characters are actually speaking Farsi to each other, we're hearing it in non-accented English, and it's a great device, and it sort of like draws you in as an audience member right away. What is it like playing with all of that sort of accent as actors, you know, working in New York City?
Well, I think it's so wonderful because we give the audience access to this world, to this duality of living in these two worlds, and then I think Sanaz is such a master because at the very end of the play, Marjan and Elham actually speak Farsi, and for the first time, the audience is put in the position that the characters have lived in for the entirety of this TOEFL class, where they have to tolerate their discomfort of being an outsider for a moment. So I think this device of, you know, speaking naturally when we're speaking Farsi and then speaking in accented English gives the audience a really great sense of what it's like to be an insider and be an outsider and to feel that tension and struggle in our language.
But they're really struggling to learn, and you're watching them learn over the course of the play, and it's really about sort of, there's a lot of discussion about the comfort of living within your own culture and sort of the discomfort of having to assimilate.
I think we all have some variations of those experiences in our own lives, and it's not just that they're trying to assimilate, it's their relationship with this mandatory assimilation. That's the problem. Yes, people can learn languages and go and travel, and that's wonderful, but what these characters are talking about, that in order for them to move forward in their lives, whatever it is, they have to do this because that is the only bridge to that destination, and that's where the desperation comes from.
Every night, I feel like there's a new discovery of just how profound Sanaz is and how Canute like let it sort of swim in this restraint and like holding back or kindness that kind of just, it's there for you if you play it.
You're basically referencing how not every job is just a job. I mean, there's another sort of emotion to doing this play. Just tell me quickly, what is it like to get to tell this story every night on Broadway, you know, 8 times a week for a big Broadway house?
It's like winning the lottery.
Yeah. We have to remind ourselves to not play the ending of this experience every day because we know how special it is.
This is a Broadway show, and we're back in just a few. The Book of Mormon is one of the longest-running Broadway musicals of all time. More than 5,000 performances and counting. And after all these years, the 9-time Tony winner is just as hilarious as ever. Now it's time to take a backstage tour.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Clay. I play Elder Price here at the Book of Mormon, and I am going to take you around backstage here at the Eugene O'Neill. I'm gonna sign in so that we can officially get started. So let's go up a ton of stairs and make our way. Oh, you know what? While we have a special guest here, this is gonna be fun. Hey guys, I'm gonna bombard everybody in this room if they're okay with it. This is the Broadway show. Okay, and check this out. So not only is this Cody Jamieson Strand looking absolutely ravishing, we also have a former Nabelungi, Kim Exum's here, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here.
What show are you in now? What did you so traitorously leave us for, Kim?
A Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong musical, playing at Studio 54.
End of plug. Hey, okay, great. So this is the stage management office. I know I just kind of flung you all on my friends here, but this is the stage management office where it's the power center of the building, really, and also snacks. Equally important. Pan to snacks. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, these are kind of fun because these are new to our building. So these are from the South Park Studios. They were going to get rid of them, and we said, why not just put them up here at the building? So please feel free to get a beautiful shot of Satan here, who I get to say hi to every time I come to work now. But now the main event is my dressing room. My very totally normal, not filled with Legos and fantasy books and typewriters and maps and I've filled it with so much stuff. Little picture of my daughter there. Gotta throw props to my daughter next to my not wife. This is Barbara Streisand. My costumes are relatively simple in the show, which is probably why I fill the rest of my dressing room with fun stuff. I've got Mormon underwear. Pretty basic. I've got a white shirt and black pants. Well, let's keep going upstairs. This is Keziah. She plays Nabelungi in our show. You've been with the show for a long time, but just recently have stepped into the role of Nabelungi. Tell us a little bit about that journey for you so far.
Yes, I've been with the show this is my 11th year. Yesterday was National Swing Day, so happy Swing Day. I was a swing and an understudy for 10 years, a little over 10 years, and this is my 4th month playing the role permanently as Nabelungi.
Ooh, that's so cool. All right, so signing off here at the Eugene O'Neill with my past self and our wall of past selves. This has been super fun, but like Keziah was doing upstairs, singing and warming up and doing everything, I've got to do that too. So you guys need to get out of here so I can do my show. Thank you so much.
Theater fun for all ages is headed your way wherever you are. The national tour of Annie is coming soon to a city near you. Now here's an exclusive musical performance from 2 of the stars of Annie.
Annie, I'm the luckiest man in the world.
And I'm the luckiest kid.
Together at last, together forever. We're tying a knot they never can sever. I don't need sunshine now to turn my skies to blue. I don't need anything but you. You wrap me around that cute little finger. You made life a song. You made me the singer.
And what's that bedtime tune you always
Boo, anything but you.
Yesterday was plain awful.
You can say that again.
Yesterday was plain awful.
But that's not now, that's then.
I'm poor as a mouse.
I'm richer than Midas. But nothing on earth could ever divide us. And if tomorrow I'm an apple seller too, I don't don't need anything but you. I don't need anything but you.
And that's going to do it for us. But for tickets, or if you want to check out our extended cuts of all these interviews, head on over to Broadway.com. I'm Tamsin Fidel, and this is The Broadway Show.